All right, you're not going to believe this one. Welcome back to Politically Homeless. I'm Dave, and now we have to really worry about true extinction level events. We really do. I know all you climate change people out there, you're thinking, the Earth is doomed, climate change, don't drive your gas-powered cars around, buy electric cars, and those batteries will last a couple years, and then cost you 20 grand to replace it. That is small potatoes. Air Force General predicts war with China in 2025. What? Tells officers to prep by firing a clip at a target and aim for the head. Don't you just love our culture? This is how we, Dave, this is the military. All right. And I know you've never been in the military yourself, so you don't know how you prep for war. You grab a clip, you expend that clip at a target and aim for the head. Okay. In the memo sent Friday, obtained by NBC, how did they get it? How did NBC News, nothing but crap, how did they get this memo from General Mike Minahan? How did they get it? Well, he's the head of Air Mobility Command. Said I hope I'm wrong. My gut tells me we'll fight in 2025, but I hope I'm wrong. Okay. Air Mobility Command has nearly 50,000 service members and nearly 500 planes and is responsible for transport and refueling. Minahan said in the memo that because both Taiwan and the U.S. will have presidential elections in 2024, the U.S. will be distracted. In other words, the shallow deep state will be running the show behind the scenes, and Chinese President Xi Jinping will have an opportunity to move on Taiwan. You don't understand geopolitics, Dave. We have to protect Taiwan. Just like we're protecting Ukraine, right? The same thing. We can't allow this aggression to go without confronting it, Dave. Otherwise, we're no longer a superpower. We're no longer a superpower. That's funny. He lays out his goals for preparing, including building a fortified, ready, integrated, and agile joint force maneuver team ready to fight and win inside the first island chain. So they're wargaming. This is like 2019 when, like DARPA and the CDC got together and they wargamed a pandemic. We'll call it the Cobra virus, The signed memo is addressed to all Air Wing commanders in Air Mobility Command and other Air Force operational commanders, and orders them to report all major efforts to prepare for the China fight to Minahan by February 28th. So we got 5 months until doomsday, people. Are you ready? Let me see. October, November, December, January. Yeah, 5 months. This is insane. You want to talk about extinction level event, right? Now, I'm being a little bit goofy in this video because that's my only defense mechanism at this point. Like, hey, just kiss your ass goodbye. This is the new normal, right? War. Well, the war with Ukraine or, United States doing all of the remote control war efforts in Ukraine, that's not going so well. And I think everybody knows that. They're not reporting it. So what they're going to do, kind of like when people started to realize that it wasn't safe and effective, a certain product out there wasn't safe and effective, they didn't talk about the efficacy anymore. They just moved on to the next thing. Well, we've got a new variant. Well, guess what? China is the new war variant. Okay? Mark that down somewhere. Make it the title of the video. Bob, China is the new... I don't have... Bob's not here. He's outside. China is the new war variant. Anyway, during the month of February, Minahan directs all AMC personnel. This is just during February. Why not do it for the holidays? Why not start shooting now and getting your mojo on for this war, which I guess you need to have a certain mindset. That's what they're doing here. During the month of February, he directs all AMC personnel to fire a clip into a 7-meter target with the full understanding that unrepentant lethality matters most. In other words, don't think about killing. Just kill. Aim for the head. He also orders all personnel to update their records and emergency. Oh, good. Update your emergency contacts. Wow. This is, and there are a couple of other rumors that they're thinking about draft. They're thinking about bringing back the draft because they're saying something like 3,000 people a day will die in a war against China. And doesn't China have like 1 billion people or something? They have far more people than we do. So if it's a battle of bodies, they're going to win. They just keep putting the bodies out there for slaughter. This, by the way, is what's happening in Ukraine, and nobody's talking about it. It's like a 7-to-1, 8-to-1, 10-to-1 ratio from Ukrainian soldier to Russian soldier. But we're winning in Ukraine. We're so close. We just need to send them, 10 billion more. Those 2 Republicans that are trying to oppose this, in the Senate or in the House. Probably in the House, right? Because they're the ones that have the purse strings. Those people are going to be shouted down. They're the most evil people because they don't want to cooperate. In March, the same guy directs all AMC personnel to consider their personal affairs and whether a visit should be scheduled with their servicing base legal office to ensure they are legally ready and prepared. In other words, get your affairs in order, get your estate planning up to speed. If you're 30 years old or 20 years old, or whatever age you're at, and you're fighting in this war, you got to make sure your papers are in order so people know where to bury you and what should be on your tombstone. Wow, this is crazy. Minahan urges them to accept some risk in training. Run deliberately, not recklessly, he writes, but later adds, if you are comfortable in your approach to training, then you are not taking enough risk. Well, with all this wokeness going on in the military, isn't this the antithesis of what they've been teaching for the last couple of years? Wow. He also provides a window into one capability the U.S. is considering for possible conflict with China: commercial drone swarms. Oh, good. Good. I like a good commercial drone swarm. He directs the KC-135 units to prepare for delivering 100 off-the-shelf size and type UAVs from a single aircraft. Wow, that's impressive. So you can dump 100 of these off of one single aircraft. I wonder if China has similar technology. I'm thinking they probably do. After publication of this article, a Defense Department official said, these comments are not representative of the department's view on China. Why aren't they? This is a memo he sent out. An AMC spokesperson confirmed in a statement Friday that the memo is real. This is an authentic internal memo from General Minahan addressed to his subordinate command teams. His order builds on last year's foundational efforts by Air Mobility Command to ready the mobility air forces for future conflict should deterrence... Deterrence? What deterrence is there? Should deterrence fail? Have they tried any deterrence? Has any diplomacy happened since El Corpso took the White House? Defense Department Press Secretary Brigadier General Patrick Ryder said in a statement, the National Defense Strategy makes clear that China is the pacing challenge for the Department of Defense, and our focus remains on working alongside allies and partners to preserve a peaceful, free, and open Indo-Pacific. But aim for the head. Aim for the head. In March 2021, Admiral Philip Davidson, then commander of the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, told a Senate Armed Services Committee hearing that Taiwan is clearly one of China's ambitions. I think the threat is manifest during this decade. In fact, in the next 6 years, said Davidson. Now, it's kind of hard to see the map behind me here, but China is way over on the other side, and so is Taiwan. So what does that have to do with us? Can we just try this like grade school? Well, they're way over here, right? They're way over here. I can't get it the right way here, but And we're on the other side. They're here, and then we're over here. Okay, there. All right. I don't understand. Why do we have to provoke and get involved with every conflict? And this is extinction level stuff. They're telling these guys, yeah, you might want to pay a visit to get your affairs in order. 2025. When asked earlier this month whether a Chinese invasion of Taiwan was imminent, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin said, "What we're seeing recently is some very provocative behavior on the part of China's forces and their attempt to reestablish a new normal. But whether or not that means that an invasion is imminent," said Austin, "I seriously doubt that." Oh, it's just so much lovable war talk. Doesn't it make you all just feel really good about the future? 2025, get your affairs in order. I mean, it sounds like they're wargaming out, they're predictive programming, they're doing the usual stuff, and we sit here and we watch this, and we send people to Washington, and what do those people do? They cheerlead. They like push each other out of the way to get to the front of the line, cheerleading the war, getting funding for the war, and hopefully they have, a military base close by. So again, they're bringing home the bacon, they're porking out, and these people are like, yeah, we've got to keep the economy going in our local community. So yeah, war with China, that's a great idea. Who cares if this might be an extinction level event for the entire planet? Who cares? We didn't care about the Ukraine-Russia thing. Oh, and we're losing that, so we've got to move on to our plan B, which is World War III with China. I'm excited about this. Are you? Yeah. More great news. And you're not really hearing this too much in the mainstream media because it's just not convenient. And this is going to be certainly throttled down, shadow banned by the algorithm. My channel, I'm lucky if I can get 200 views on a video over here with 12,000 something subscribers. It's actually pretty funny. It is, because you just know what's going on. Anyway, folks, if you like the content, or even if you don't, just subscribe, just as a charity move, and then you can support me over on Patreon. I'll put a link in the description on how you can do that. It's essential. I will continue to bring you content like this and interviews with people I think are important. I've just got like 2 people basically I interview, and you never know who you're going to hear on the show, though. I might have to get some military commanders on, or at least military experts, to tell me that this is a good idea, that we should be, watching out for Taiwan and keeping them safe from an attack from China. We don't think a full-scale invasion is going to happen anytime soon, but it doesn't mean we can't prepare for World War III. All right, that is the video. Thanks, and Godspeed.